I think one word we could use to describe Web3 generally is decentralized. So you know the way you have your Monopoly game. I don't know if you guys know the Monopoly game that is digital. Yeah, that one that you buy lands and you destroy people's lands and stuff like that. Now imagine if you buy these lands and they actually have real monetary value. That is how Sandbox is.
Showtime. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Final Circle. And an interesting episode we've got for you lined up today. We're going to delve into something a little bit more different, still leaning towards gaming, esports, and the likes, but we're going to talk about something much more intricate, much more fun, much more exciting, much more innovative. And with me here, we have the lovely Ekene, and she's going to break down what Web3 and Web3 gaming is. Welcome to the Final Circle.
Thank you. Hello everyone.
So now, first things first is, what is Web3? What is that? I've heard that term before. I heard a lot of people talking about it on the internet, but I've never really delved into it. For there to be like a Web3, there has to be like a Web2 and Web1, right?
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Tell us that, all of us that don't know anything.
Okay, so basically Web3 is kind of like a more advanced version of Web1, Web2, like you mentioned. Okay, so Web1 was more of just reading. So like you had the web pages, your Google, you just go online and check something and you could read it, not interactive at all. Then we evolved to Web2. So Web2 was more interactive, where we had social media. So then we had the likes of Facebook, YouTube, and the likes, Instagram. So now you can read and you can also interact, you could talk, you could create content for yourself. Now Web3, what Web3 is now is, it's now three parts. So you could read, interact, and own. So companies like Facebook, Instagram, and social media companies, they own our data to a large extent. But with Web3, you own your data. You own your own thing, your own stuff, basically. Yeah, that's basically what Web3 is.
Okay. So Web1, read, you can't write, you can't change anything about the information that you see. Then on Web2, it gets more interactive. You can post, you can upload, you can edit data, you can download, and all of that fun stuff. And then Web3, you can do both what you do in Web1 and 2, but now you can own your own data without like a third party or anything like that, right?
Definitely.
It's more, individual.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I think I got the gist of it. It's pretty fun stuff. But now let's tie that into, since this is a standalone platform, that means there's an opportunity for gaming as well. So how does that work? How do you interact with gaming and the likes inside of the Web3?
Okay, so I think one word we could use to describe Web3 generally is decentralized. So the fact that it's decentralized, there are a whole lot of opportunities for different things. Gaming, you literally have community managers and a whole lot of things, yeah. But for the gaming aspect, what it brings now is the fact that, okay, how do I explain it? Your normal games that we all know, Fortnite, COD, PUBG, you understand, the likes. What it does now is, for instance, you buy a skin, you buy a gun or an ammo in Web2, in Web2 games, and if that game crashes, that's it. But for Web3 gaming, those things can literally be converted to NFTs. So you can play and earn. So there's this thing they call P2E, play to earn. So you play, you buy skins, you buy armor, you buy a whole lot of things, and those things are literally stored in your wallet, where you could either trade them to earn or different things. So basically, you're enjoying your gaming experience and at the same time, you're earning for yourself.
Okay. So it's more, something you own. You get it from the game itself, from the game publisher. You download it, you pay for the skin, I guess.
Yes.
Or whatever way you get it from the game, right?
Yeah.
And then this is tied to your individual character,
your individual avatars, and also your wallets. So as much as it's decentralized, it's kind of connected to the block. It's not so kind of. It's connected to a blockchain. So that alone decentralizes everything and makes it like personalized. You remember the whole thing of owning your own data. Yeah, that's how it is.
Oh, okay. So now, what kind of games, can we have on the Web3 platform? Because again, most of the games that you talk about that are very intricate, that we already know, the Call of Duties, the Fortnites, the PUBG Mobiles, the FC25s, and what have you. All of these games require you to, from time to time, spend a little money to get a little something from the game. And some of those things, they are not transferable.
Yeah.
You get, but now with Web3, you have a way to own these things in the form of NFTs, and that's great. But now, what kind of games are we looking at here? Because not necessarily all the games are going to, go for this. They're not going to have this feature. They still want you to consistently spend, get money, and nothing would be unique to just you, right? So now, what games do you think, we can play on Web3 that fall into this P2E category that allow you to, play to earn? Play to earn. Sorry, not pay to earn, I beg. Play to earn.
Yeah.
So what kind of games, can we be looking at in the Web3 space?
Okay, so if there's one thing I would want you to note first of all, is that it is actually unique to you, because NFTs are non-fungible tokens, and what makes them valuable is the fact that they are unique. So it's kind of like a bragging right that only me has this thing, and that's what gives it its value in the first place, you understand? So you could have an avatar, a game avatar, you could have a skin, you could have an armory, and the fact that it's unique to just you, that's what gives it its value, like I said. So what kind of games can we have in Web3 gaming? So Web3 gaming is still evolving. It's very new, not very new, but it's fresh. It's still fresh. There have been a whole lot of projects that have come up, that have failed, that have collapsed, but of course, at the same time, we have successful ones, that are thriving. But at the same time, like I said, it's still new, so there's still a lot of room to grow. We could literally have Web3 games that are similar to the likes of COD and PUBG. But right now, there are a couple of ones that I know. The first one will be the sandbox. So the way you have your Monopoly game. I don't know if you guys know the Monopoly game that is digital. Yeah, that one that you buy lands and you destroy people's lands and stuff like that. Now imagine if you buy these lands and they actually have real monetary value. That is how sandbox is. Yeah, and it's like that. So you actually have virtual land. Exactly. So they cannot walk in your father's village that you don't have land. I'm going to cut that part out. So sorry.
I see. So, I can be a landlord.
Yes.
That kind of thing.
I mean,
I've always wanted to be a landlord. So mindset, lock in. If you're not a landlord, now is the time. You can be a landlord in the sandbox. Yeah. So okay. So what's the other game?
The other one would be Gods Unchained. This one is more of a card game. It's a NFT card game. So apparently the cards have values, NFT values. So yeah, if you're good at card games, this would be a really nice one for you to check out.
Okay. So for those of you that love your solitaire and what have you, you've got another opportunity to earn some interesting valuables from the Web3 space through Web3 gaming. So now we've broken down, what Web1 is, Web2, and now what Web3 is, and we've seen how we can play games inside of the Web3 space. But now I have another question. Now, if we are, is there a way to connect Web2 games, the ones we already play? Is there a way to connect the rewards you get from them into Web3 games or into your Web3 avatar or persona? Or does everything that happen inside of the Web3, does it have to do with you creating the element yourself?
Okay, so for Web2 games, the people that have mostly gained are mostly the developers, the people that own the game, you understand? But for Web3 game, the dynamic have shifted to the players. Okay. You understand? So unless the people that are developing these Web2 games decide that, okay, they want to have something like that. And I think there's some Web2 games that are actually valuable, like monetary terms. I'm not so sure. You'll be the one that would know that. You understand? Okay. But unless they want to shift that dynamic to where you can actually buy a gun in COD and you can actually sell that gun and have monetary value. That kind of thing. Is it there?
Okay.
Is it there?
Okay.
Answer me.
I mean, I've never heard of anything like that.
I mean?
So that would be very interesting though. But again, I feel that is more between the platforms and how you would cross them, into one another.
True.
You know, but because most of these titles, they need engines to run, you know, so again, you have to work through, okay, this engine works this way, and this is how we insert payments, and you know, people get rewarded and stuff like that. This is how the rewards come on this platform, and then on Web3, this is how the rewards come. So you have to find a way to first consolidate the two ways you can get rewarded, you know. So because what I know is, you know, you don't get rewarded in FC25 or any of these other games in your blockchain wallet or whatever, you know. So but on Web3, that is how you would most likely get rewarded, right? So I think it's more of a payment method, you know. If you wanted to get something, you like could pay to get that through, you know, a blockchain or whatever system you want. But for the most part, I think for receiving something, you know, having something that is yours, that you call yours, I think it's just going to be a little bit more intricate. But it's something I would actually like to see, you know, in the gaming space for Web3. But now, again, I am also very curious. What games do you play? Oh no, wait. What's your favorite game to play? Yes. What is your favorite game to play?
Web3 game or just general?
In general, what is your favorite game to play? What game do you think you would be competitive at, that if someone said, okay, you're playing this game, I will most likely win you at this game, or I would perform at least well enough for you to have to, you know, try. What is your favorite game?
So I don't have a favorite game. One thing is that the kind of games I play are not exactly like maybe something that you play like COD and all that. I play more of like, I just like mind games, sort of. The type that maybe like ball sorts, that kind of thing.
She likes playing mind games. Make of that what you like will. That. But she says she likes playing.
But yeah, things are really like things that will keep me busy, like you're sorting out colors, and this one I used to play Criminal Case. I don't even know Criminal Case.
Mind games, Criminal Case. I mean, the book writes itself.
Bro, it's not like that.
Right. Mind games, Criminal Case. I mean, what next? Murder Mystery.
No.
Agatha Christie. I mean, I could go on, right? Because you see her reaction when I said Agatha Christie, right? Because that's what you're saying, right?
That's not what I'm saying.
But that's what you play, right?
That's what I play.
Okay, sure. Okay, that's fair enough. But it's not over. I mean, we're going to delve deep into this. This is the first time I'm going to have this conversation about what Web3 is and gaming in Web3. I think there's going to be more on this segment. So we are going to be exploring this going further. But for now, this is the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully, we'll get some comments in the comment section to tell us what you guys want to, the questions you might have about Web3, and I'll have the beautiful Ekene here to break it down for you. But until then, showtime. See you on the next episode. Peace.
Bye.